So we didn't get in until like probably after midnight last night, and we are already up at 5:30 to hop on a bus tour to Quilotoa. So yeah, we're dying on the inside, but ready to go. I'm not gonna lie, after getting into Ecuador at 11 p.m. and not settling into our hostel until well past midnight, getting up at 5 a.m. for a day trip to Quilotoa was a little difficult, but we managed to do it because we knew that it would be an amazing experience and we didn't want to miss this cultural and historic part of Ecuador. Alright, so we have left Cotopaxi where we couldn't see anything because it was super foggy, but now we have made it to Quilotoa Lake, or Crater Lake, lagoon thing, where it's also super windy, but we're like a little protected now, but I'll show you guys what it looks like. It's so pretty! This now extinct volcano erupted, collapsed, and filled with water, and is now an ethereal blue color from the natural minerals that come from the volcano. So now we're gonna hike our way all the way down to the very bottom and hike back up. Yeah, we're probably gonna take a horse back up because we lazy and it's only like $10. So started up there. And now we have made our way to here. And I guess the end point is down there. So part of the reason we were deciding to take the horses back up was because we were not adjusted to the altitude. Coming from Florida, getting used to 13,000 feet of mountain is very difficult, especially on your first day there. So the hike back up would have been very slow going had we decided to take it. At the bottom of the crater, it's possible to rent kayaks and kayak out on the Blue Lake. And also you can opt to take a multi-day trek around the crater itself if that's something you're interested in. Since we have not adjusted to the altitude yet, because we've only been here for one day and we're at 14,000 feet right now, we decided to ride donkeys back up because otherwise we would die. So that's why I'm bouncing right now. But you can see the beautiful lake in the background. It's so cool. After our day trip at Quilotoa and Cotopaxi, we went back to the hostel in Quito and got ready to head out the next day to go to Banos. All right, so we are off on our first adventure for today. Ooh. Oh, they saw us. They knew we were going to the gate. I got scared. And we're going to go and rent ATVs. Sorry, Mom. And
so
we're gonna go to the Pylon Del Diablo. And we are going to go to the swing at the end of the world. So, also look at these cool mountains in the background. Oh, foggy, but sweet. So cool. So we ended up not renting ATVs because they're gonna cost us about $150 each, which by Ecuador standards is crazy expensive for rental. So we ended up just taking the public transportation, and our first stop for the day was going to be the Pylon Del Diablo. All right, so we're about to cross our first suspension bridge of this Pylon adventure. So here we go. Not sure if you guys know this about me, but heights are definitely not my favorite thing in the world. So by about this time, I'm starting to get a little anxious. Okay, so suspension bridge. I think I would have handled these bridges a little better had there not been all of the yelling, and also none of the little kids running across the bridges, jumping up and down, trying to scare people. All right, so the suspension bridge is really kind of slick, and you can see like got these railings to hold on to. Guy yelling in the background to make us go faster. It's all good.
El puente no se extinga, avancen chicos. Siga, siga ingresando chicos, siga por favor, siga.
Yikes.
Siga avanzando chicos, siga por favor, siga.
Is he just telling everybody to hurry? Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, come on guys, let's get this over.
Yeah.
You get so wet right there.
Suspension bridge number 2.
Look at how many people are down there. Oh yeah, wow. Frick that.
That's where we're about to go, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
It is, you're right.
We conquered our first 2 suspension bridges. Yee-haw. The thing most people don't know about the Pylon Del Diablo is that there are 2 entrances. The new entrance, which where you can see all of these suspension bridges, are the more crowded one. We also went to the old entrance, which was way slower and a longer hike, but also just as beautiful. I highly recommend you do both. Okay, so Caitlin's first hot spring experience. One of my least favorite hot springs I've been to, but the view's pretty cool. But I'm getting splashed by a lot of small children. But here's the view.
Views are 100.
Views are good. Views are
Hot
good.
springs.
So, how do you feel about your first hot springs experience, Caitlin?
It's not hot. It's
lukewarm springs experience.
cool mountains.
Yeah, and the water also we're just gonna tell ourselves it's a mud bath because
It's clearing our skin up.
yeah,
For sure.
water's kind of brown. So this morning was exciting. Caitlin and I were both sick. I was throwing up, but we are now on our way to the Amazon and we got some pretty cool views, so should be fun. Hopefully no more vomiting. After 2 days of adventures in Banos, going to the hot springs, the Pailon del Diablo, and the swing at the end of the world, it was time to finally tick something off of our bucket list, which was the Amazon Rainforest. We were heading there with GeoTours Adventures, and after a very eventful morning of being completely sick, which I did not know was actually going to be lasting me 4 months because I had picked up a parasite, we decided to push on through and keep forward with our adventure, upset tummies and all. Okay, so we're on our first hike into the jungle. We're doing a long hike, like 4 hours, to a waterfall and then to a viewpoint. So wish us luck. We've already seen a giant spider and a cinnamon leaf plant, and termites, so lots of critters. We found out just how humid the Amazon rainforest could be. Part of the only thing keeping us going was the promise of a waterfall to swim in at the end of the hike. But it was incredible to just be in complete and total isolation with no civilization around, save for our guide. Our guide was super knowledgeable and knew all about the different flora and fauna and their natural uses from the indigenous tribes in the area. The journey was such an incredible experience. We got stuck in mud and learned so much, but the reward was even sweeter. Caitlin's muddy boots.
Other one?
She didn't follow directions. Okay, so we finished the hiking part. Now we're on the river. We gotta swim through it, walk through it, something. But here we go. As we neared the end of our hike, we found out that the hike wasn't just going to open up for a beautiful waterfall for us to swim into. No, instead we had to swim about 30 yards upstream of the river to access the waterfall, leaving our bags behind and taking with us only what we could swim with. Yep, just think of it as a Florida spring. I'm not gonna get any flesh-eating bacteria. Okay, well, it's pretty sweet. The water's very cold, and we're just trudging along this river in the Amazon, naked. How's it going, Caitlin? So, life update. I feel like I'm on an episode of Naked and Afraid, but just a quick bathing suit. Alright. Going in. Ah, so cold. This is so cool. Oh my god.
I feel like the springs have prepared us.
Yeah. Okay, well the trekking through the jungle is worth it because this is so freaking cool. We hike yet again, and we are rewarded yet again. We take another short hike to get to our camp, and boy were we surprised. We had the most amazing camp that we could have asked for, although much so lacking in amenities, as one would expect in the Amazon. So I'm in my mosquito-free, supposedly, bed. That's why this blue light is on me, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of strange. The windows are open to the elements, so it's a little freaky. Seen a lot of bugs, lots of bugs. Decided I could never do naked and afraid. I hate bugs. After spending the evening open to the elements and underneath the stars in our Amazonian bungalow, we got up early the following morning to take another hike to another waterfall. This was not nearly as complicated to get to, but still equally as beautiful and equally as rewarding. After that, our plan was to visit the indigenous Quechua tribe and to take a canoe ride down the Amazon River. To be continued in my Ecuador Part 2 vlog, along with our adventures in the Galapagos Islands. Stay tuned!